125 valid palindrome. In this question, we're just checking if a string is a palindrome. So a palindrome is a string that if read forward and backward, read the same. And this question is telling us to lowercase all the letters and also remove all the non-alphanumeric characters. So this sentence becomes, this sentence with no punctuation, no spaces, all lowercase. And it is a palindrome because if you reverse this string, it's the same string. These are the companies that ask it. It's actually pretty big at Meta recently. So let's get into it. The way I'm going to do it is kind of deranged. So if you want like an actual human solution, I recommend you to look over some other videos or other solutions yourself. But I think my way, although hard to read, is kind of straightforward actually once you explain it. First, I'm going to remove all the non-alphanumeric characters in the string and also convert it to lowercase. So for this, I'm going to use a regex function. I'm going to make a new variable, call it s2, and then I'm going to set that equal to re.sub. And re.sub is a regex function in Python. It basically takes in a regex expression and then substitutes it for whatever you want in a string. If you don't know about regex, it's basically a format in order to detect certain patterns in strings. So it's a whole other thing to learn yourself, but the way we'll be using it is pretty simple, and I'll explain everything to you. So first we have to write the expression in brackets, and then I'm going to say caret, which means not, 0 to 9, A to Z, and capital A to capital Z. That's for the first argument. For the second argument, I'm going to pass in an empty string, and then for the third argument, I'm going to say the original S string. So what we're doing is we're looking for characters that are not either from 0 to 9, A to Z, or capital A to Z. That means we're looking for characters that are not alphanumeric in the string. And when it finds a non-alphanumeric character, it's going to replace it with the empty string. So it's just going to remove all the non-alphanumeric characters. And then we're doing that over the string S, which we are assigning into a new variable s2, which we'll use from now on. And then from this, to convert it to lowercase, all we have to do is go .lower, another built-in function. And now comes the kind of confusing part to write. From here, we can directly return the following value that I'm going to explain to you. My approach is to get the first half of the string and then compare its equality to the second half of the string after I reverse the second half of the string, because that's how you check the palindrome. So it's the first half of the string compared to the second half of the string reversed. And you notice that this string is odd, so there is one letter in the middle, and I'll explain how to deal with that later. So first we want to return s2, and the indices will be from 0 to length of s2, and I'm going to divide that by 2 in order to get the middle index. So for this string, it's going to return everything up until the middle index, and not including the middle index, which is here. And from that, I'm going to check equality to s2 from the middle index, which is length s2, to the end. So remember, the left side of the equality gets this part of the string, and then now we're saying the right side equality gets this part of the string. And you notice for odd strings like these, we don't want to check the middle character, because in reality, the middle character we don't care about. It could be anything and the string would still be a palindrome. So in order to check for odd length strings, and my apologies here, I forgot, divided by 2. So we're going to add to this length of s2 mod 2. So now if the string is odd, this will evaluate to 1, and this will effectively increase the starting index by 1. So for example, on this odd string, since we don't want to include this middle character C when checking equality, we will add length of s2 mod 2, which is going to be equal to 1. So that's actually going to start the right side of the equality check from here. So we're not including the C at all. And finally, we don't want to forget that we want to reverse this, because we're checking if the first half of the string is equal to the reverse of the second half of the string in order for it to be a palindrome. And there you go. Your interviewer might not appreciate this solution, but you certainly will.